Japan, a country of contrasts, where ancient traditions sit side by side with cutting-edge technology, where peaceful temples sit amongst neon-lit skyscrapers, and where nature thrives in the heart of the city. I've always had a deep curiosity for Japan, and after traveling here solo, I learned something important. Japan is a place where shared experiences matter, and I would not travel here alone again. In this story, I'm going to take you through my journey, from the bright lights of Tokyo to the peaceful mountains of Shirakawa-go, and share why traveling solo in Japan can sometimes be a little more lonely than you might expect. Tokyo, the world's largest city, a metropolis of endless possibilities, where every corner offers something new and exciting. As a solo traveler, the energy here is magnetic. The neon lights of Shibuya, the towering skyscrapers, and the cutting-edge technology. It's like living in a futuristic dream. I spent hours exploring the iconic districts, Akihabara, Shibuya, and Shinjuku, immersing myself in the pulse of the city. But something started to feel off. Tokyo is vast, and while it's filled with people, I couldn't help but notice how solitary it felt being by myself in such a huge city. I loved exploring, but it wasn't the same without someone to share the excitement with. Getting around can be intimidating. I'm talking about the subway system, one of the most complex networks in the world. I remember trying to navigate the packed trains during rush hour, clutching my phone like a lifeline to ensure I wasn't heading in the wrong direction. At one particular train station, I took about 25 minutes trying to figure out how to exit. It was stressful. At times, I felt like a tiny speck in a sea of people. And yes, even though Tokyo is incredibly safe, the language barrier is real. Many people speak English, but I still had to gesture with my arms and use my translator app to try to communicate. Signs mostly had English translations, but was still a bit tricky to navigate. In a city where everything is constantly happening, eating ramen alone or taking in a view by myself started to feel a little isolated. The contrast between the hustle and the quiet spots is what makes Tokyo so special. There's an undeniable beauty in Tokyo's chaos, but that energy is meant to be shared, to be part of something bigger. After Tokyo, I headed to Kyoto. This city feels like a journey back in time. The traditional tea houses, the incredible temples, and the feeling of ancient Japan. It's peaceful and beautiful. Kyoto is everything you imagine Japan to be. Kyoto was definitely one of my favorite cities to explore, and it's here I found peace, the kind that makes you feel like you've stepped back into an ancient world. Kyoto's charm lies in its slow pace and connection to history. I spent hours wandering through the various temples, shrines, gardens, and parks, reflecting on the culture. But the more I explored, the more I realized these moments of peace, as wonderful as they were, felt a bit empty alone. The beauty here begs for conversation, for someone to share the wonder of these places with. I'll never forget the feeling of walking through the thousands of torii gates at Fushimi Inari Shrine. It was magical, but there's something special about exploring a place like this with a friend or loved one, someone to share in the awe and reflect on the experience together. I also realized that Kyoto's beauty comes with crowds, and when you're solo, it can feel isolating, even in the most tranquil of places. Next, I took a bullet train to Osaka, the food capital of Japan. Osaka is vibrant, loud, and brash. It reminded me a bit of Tokyo in terms of its energy, but maybe it had more of a laid-back vibe. The one thing I really enjoyed in Osaka was the sumo wrestling show. It was well put together and very entertaining. I did feel like an experience like that should be shared with someone, especially seeing the groups and families in the audience. The food scene is wild. Takoyaki, okonomiyaki, kushikatsu. I personally didn't try these, but if you love street food, Osaka is the place to be. But here's the thing. When you're traveling solo, it's hard to enjoy the excitement of the food stalls when you're watching families, friends, and couples bonding over a meal. The energy is infectious, but it also made me feel a little out of place at times. There's a deep sense of community in Osaka. Everyone is in on the fun, and I couldn't shake the feeling that it was meant to be shared. Nara, a peaceful escape just a short train ride away from Osaka. There I roam freely in the park, and ancient temples like Todaiji stand tall, housing one of the largest bronze Buddha statues in the world. In many ways, Nara was the perfect place to relax after the intensity of Osaka and Tokyo. Walking through Nara Park, I found a calmness I hadn't experienced in the bigger cities. The deer, the serene temples, the beauty of nature. It was also peaceful. I must say that it was one of the most unique experiences I've ever had, and it's up there with one of the best cities I've visited. But I couldn't escape the loneliness. There were families taking photos together, couples holding hands, and here I was, wandering through this stunning park by myself. Nara's tranquility is something I'll always cherish, but I started to realize that the experiences that touched me the most were the ones shared. Sometimes it's just not about the place, it's about the people you experience it with. And then there's Shirakawa-go, a remote village hidden in the mountains, famous for its gashishigiri houses, steep thatched roofs designed to withstand heavy snowfall. It's a fairy tale come to life, especially in the winter. While researching regions to visit in Japan, I stumbled upon some pictures of Shirakawa, and I immediately knew I had to add it to my itinerary. But even here, I felt a sense of isolation. The village is peaceful, but it's remote, and being alone made it even quieter. The beauty of Shirakawa-go is something to be shared, whether it's a walk through the village with someone close, or a moment of quiet reflection together by the river. Alone, I found myself longing for someone to appreciate this timeless place with me. Japan is an extraordinary place. It's a country full of wonder, and I still love everything about it. It has something for everyone. But what I've learned through my solo travels here is that the experiences are better when they're shared. The culture, the food, the sights, they all come alive when you have someone to talk to, someone to laugh with, someone to share moments of frustration, or someone to simply enjoy the moment with. Because even though Japan is a dream destination, it's the connections with others that make it unforgettable. Thank you for joining me on this journey through Japan. If you've ever traveled solo, or if you've had similar experiences, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, safe and happy travels.